Okay, here's our roof, which is a gable type roof. And in the backyard, we have many trees. The biggest tree, unfortunately, is a pine tree here. And this is a very large one with overhangs, with limbs overhanging our roof. Not directly, but enough for the pine needles to drift onto the roof. Now here I set the ladder into the corner between the roof of the porch and the main roof to give it the little support. It's not the best setup because it's leaning on the gutter, but what I'm going to do is get some braces that will come out beyond the gutters so that the ladder will not be leaning on the gutters directly. But for now, it makes me feel a whole lot better if there's at least some additional support for the ladder. I don't like heights very much, especially when I'm on an unstable ladder. So as you can see from the structure, this is a typical gable type roof. You have the main gable here, and perpendicular to the main gable is an additional gable that faces out towards the front of the house. And here's the opposite end of the house. Again, there's the main gable. And if we go out towards the front of the house, here you can see the second gable perpendicular to the main. Okay, here you can see the gutters, which were cleaned out not too long ago, but you can see there at the far end it's starting to collect some pine needles. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get that cleaned out. You don't want the water to build up in your gutters. It'll weigh it down and it'll collect water at the edge of your roof. This is not a good thing. So just periodically clean out your gutters and it'll save you some big headaches later on. We had some roof work done not too long ago, and I had instructed the contractors to install some ventilation, and this is great because it'll keep your attic temperature down, which will in turn reduce the temperature of the internal part of the house. And I also had them install a skylight. This is great because it really brightens up the living room, makes it more cheerful. Now here is the main gable. There is the roof to the porch, which is a very slight pitch, but it allows the water to run down, albeit slowly. Now here you can see the second gable perpendicular to the main. Now here we have a ravine that's collecting some pine needles, and you really want to keep this area clean from any debris, otherwise you're going to get a lot of moisture in this debris, and what will happen, it will cause premature deterioration of the area directly underneath all that debris. Again, we have some more ventilation here. So here's our chimney. We had some work done around it. There was some wood rot, but we caught it in time And the repair wasn't very costly, but it was quite necessary to do. Now for your chimney, you really want to clean that out every year. We're going to have ours cleaned very soon. I just called the contractor this morning, so hopefully he'll show up pretty soon. And when he does, I'll try to document that. So on our roof, we have several of these vents. And what we did, we covered them up with a type of chicken wire type material. And these are great to keep the squirrels out. If it weren't for these covers, we would have squirrels inside our ventilation. More ventilation. Again, covered to prevent squirrel invasions. If you have squirrels in your attic, you can rent cages. And when you get rid of the squirrels, make sure that you bring them a couple miles away, preferably in a public park. Release them there.